Welcome to the special edition of the KTLA 5 News at 5. We are just minutes away from President Biden's first primetime address to the nation since taking office. Good evening. I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Mary Beth McDade in tonight for Cher Calvin. President Biden is expected to speak about the $1.9 trillion COVID relief package he just signed into law, as well as the progress we've been in battling the deadly coronavirus.
His first primetime address falls on the one-year anniversary of the World Health Organization declaring the crisis a global pandemic. As we await the president, we're joined by longtime KTLA political analyst Matt Klink. Matt, good to have you with us. You have to go back 100 years to find a president that's waited this long after Inauguration Day to take extended questions from the press. However, this president dealing with extraordinary circumstances in his first 50 days, making a lot of news, about to make more tonight.
Micah, this was the must-have piece of the Biden agenda, that if he didn't get this, everything else would have fallen by the wayside. So this is a day that I heard someone say best. It's a day for Joe Biden to spike the football. It's a good day for America. There's a lot of money that's going to do a lot of good for a lot of people.
And Matt, it's Mary Beth McDade here. I understand there's going to be two very important dates that the president is going to talk about. May 1st, opening up all vaccines to adults, and then getting some semblance of normalcy by July 4th.
Absolutely, Mary Beth. You know, I think that the projecting of hope and the demonstration of empathy, something that was frankly lacking under President Trump, will be ever present. And it just gives America dates that they can put a big circle on their calendar, say life will get back to normal.
Matt Klink, stand by. We'll talk with you after the president addresses the nation live from the East Room of the White House.
Good evening, my fellow Americans.
Good evening and welcome back to the special edition of the KTLA 5 News at 5. I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Mary Beth McDade in for Cher Calvin tonight. Well, moments ago, we heard from President Biden in his first primetime address to the nation since taking office.
It comes exactly 1 year after the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus outbreak a global pandemic. Let's bring in our political analyst, Matt Klink, to the conversation. Matt, you heard the president moments ago. You mentioned at the top of the hour a chance for him to spike the football. It was a speech with equal parts empathy, hope, and optimism. Your takeaway?
Yeah, Micah, I think he struck the right chord. He talked about the importance of ongoing sacrifice, meaning that Americans have to be diligent. But he was so effusive with hope and the promise of what the future lies ahead for everyone. I also note he didn't mention the word Republican or Democrat anywhere in the speech. He really talked about the accomplishments of the administration, the ability to get vaccines in people's arms, and the true benefits that this $1.9 trillion stimulus package will have on all of America, but particularly for California and Los Angeles, even though he didn't mention it by name.
Okay, and it was also interesting, well, he pulled out that card out of his pocket to show that he's been keeping track of all the loss of life here in the United States. There's been more than 500,000, and the World Health Organization said that this was the deadliest year in history. Also, though, when laying out this timeline, May 1st getting all adults vaccinated, and then the 4th of July having some semblance of normalcy, really declaring Independence Day. Any fear that this could backfire on the president if we don't meet these dates?
Well, Mary Beth, he gave himself some wiggle room and said that if the situation changes, we'll adjust accordingly. We may have to go into more lockdowns. But look, the dates are close enough. The May 1st is right around the corner. The 4th of July, people are already starting to figure out what they're going to do. It's close enough that every American can touch it. So there's that sense of optimism that if we keep doing what we're doing and we can get the vaccine, that we'll return to the quote unquote, the new normal. So again, he struck the right tone. I think it's going to make people really excited that we're coming out of this.
That date, May 1st, by which all adults will be eligible to receive the vaccine and have an appointment, not necessarily to be vaccinated with their first shot. Let's roll the sound with the president on the timeline of the vaccinations.
I'm announcing that I will direct all states, tribes, and territories to make all adults, people 18 and over, eligible to be vaccinated no later than May 1. Let me say that again. all adult Americans will be eligible to get a vaccine no later than May 1. That's much earlier than expected.
Matt, you see the president's approach in dealing with the public and the press in the first 50 days of his administration. Are you surprised by any of it, considering the extraordinary circumstances?
No, I'm not. And I think that, Donald Trump was so available and I would argue too available. He was overexposed and the press ate his lunch. Joe Biden has taken a much different approach. He has very structured, message disciplined events. He does need to someday have a real press conference. But look, I think that again, he's striking the right tone. He's being very, very measured in what he's saying. And that's what America wants right now. They don't need hyperbole. They need action.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, I did find it interesting just using his executive authority to demand that states. Right. So he's really talking about unifying everyone to really get rolling with this vaccination effort. Matt, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.